All right, I'm ready then.
All right, we're all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, Beyond the Rift episode 41 shall begin now, starring the one and only ever lovable I'm a Cutie Pie on the grind right now to usurp consensual clown in the challenger ladder. Joining me, my guest, my dear friend, Scar. Give him a quick little introduction.
Hello guys, I'm Scar. I used to be a teammate of Cuties. I've been a coach. I've been a player. I've been just about everything. You know, we've hosted this show for 40 episodes now, and welcome.
And joining us, our special guest, the one and only. Everyone loves him, dude. Give him a quick little introduction, Inori.
Hey, Inori, P1's jungler. That was the guy who played that Rengar in BTSM.
The best damn Rengar you ever seen. Aside from, let me ask you, let me get this question out of the way right now. I don't know if this question's coming up because I haven't looked, but hopefully it's not. Who's a better jungler, you or Meteos?
Oh shit, straight to it.
I'm just going to get that question out of the way.
Honestly, I think he's a better jungler than me. I think I can play some things better, but overall he's more well-rounded.
Man, what's up with all you guys being fucking humble and shit? Come on, give me something. He's a better jungler than me?
Hey, I think I can play carry junglers really well, but like team plays so well too, so it's hard. And he's such a nice guy, so like.
I'll give you that one because he's a nice guy. You can't blame him. Fair
he's
enough.
my boy, man. Come on.
I'll give you that one. Before we get into the real hard-hitting questions, I want to give a shout-out to the sponsor. Shout-out to Bloody Headset and Bloody Peripherals in general. Fantastic peripheral company that allows us to do what we do every day, which is game at our maximum. This is the only company that makes peripherals that can handle the maneuvers that the pros do every day. And you gotta pick yourself up a pair of them. And then shout outs also to Discord, amazing voice communication. It's just amazing. What else do I say? Amazing. Download it right now. Live question and answer at the end of the show. You download it, go to the question and answer section on our Discord, and you know how it goes. But let's get into the questions now. Let's get into the real meat of the subject. So we'll start off with question number 1. What are your first impressions of this mid-season patch? What's OP and what's bad? Have you played the mid-season patch, Inori?
Oh yeah, I played like 3 days of it. We only had like a week break kinda, so I had to come right back, and I kinda took a long break from League, and I just recently started playing it. I think the game's pretty much the same. It's just tanks suck early, better late game. AD carries are pretty OP, like extremely strong, and mid mages have banshees now.
You think ADs are just absolutely ridiculous? Like I actually think AD's pretty dumb right now. I think it's pretty like I some of my games I play, it's just like, okay, I guess we win now. Like if someone fucks up a play bottom lane, it's like I'm gonna win this game. Like this shit's over already. So you think it's
ADCs are so strong. It's terrifying playing against one as like a tank, especially with like the nerfs to some items. It feels so bad.
But do you think though that like anything specific needs to be nerfed about them, or?
Yeah, I think their item builds are too good. Like I think Blade is just too well rounded as an item right now. It doesn't really have any drawbacks. I think an item like that makes playing like a tank frontliner really hard, especially when they can do like 16% of your current health into autos. That doesn't really feel that good.
You think even with the nerf though, it got like, what was the nerf? It was like 100 gold.
Yeah, 100 gold off, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, you think that wasn't enough?
That destroyed the item. No, I'm kidding. It really needed a bigger nerf. Like I think bring it back to like 6% current health would help, just so tanks can survive a little longer. But I think tanks need a little bit of a buff too, as well.
All right, fair enough. Scar, what's your take on the patch?
Dude, it's similar to Inori over here. Mid laners just get banshees. It's just like, wait a sec. I'm so confused because Riot, in their infinite wisdom, had a meta where everyone mid lane rushed Abyssal. It didn't matter if you were an assassin, if you were a control mage, anything that used AP, if he went Abyssal, you had to go Abyssal. If you went Abyssal, if he didn't, then you won anyways. And then just recently, they nerfed Abyssal to the point where it's not the best first item purchase. Great, fantastic. And then they introduced Banshees, and now you're back to buying like Lost Chapter for the mana, and then you just rush Banshees. If it's a matchup that is like remotely close to you taking damage, it feels really weird. Like, I don't know why they changed it from like a okay defensive item or like itemization mid meta back toward like a really really like situationally bad one. Like Banshees alone just like cuts off so many mid lane champions and just specific champions that would need to work around the Banshee shield.
Yeah, I don't know why they did. Like, I thought that they learned already, from, like, Abyssal and, like, when people would go Athenes first every single game. Like, they'd even say, like, yeah, it's stupid as fuck to have such a good defensive item that gives, like, all the stats that you want. And then this thing gives, what does it give? It's CDR. It's, like, 70 AP. It's, like...
Yeah, it's CDR, AP, and the Banshee shield.
Yeah, it's...
And MR.
Yeah, because even bot lane right now, I played against Cody's son, and he went Lucian with a GA first, and I was like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I've been spamming it every single game now, and it's just like, it feels so stupid to play against it. Like, I can't imagine how someone playing against it feels, because it's basically like, you get the armor, you get 30 armor, you get 40 AD. So I'm Lucian. I just like solo tower dive the enemy AD. It doesn't like a blatant disregard for my own life because I'm just going to GA passive back up and they can't even kill me. It's just, I don't know why they made, do you guys have any problem with GA giving armor and AD?
It's ridiculous because like, I think full damage Rengar can like benefit really well with like the new GA. I mean, a lot of champions can too. It's just too well rounded. Like even armor and AD item is like terrifying. It can just destroy the game.
Yeah, it's just so snowbally.
I didn't think it was that bad when I first saw it, and then I ran into situations where Lucian Dravens were building a first item. I'm like, it can't be that good. And I see it so much now. If I'm playing like an AD mid laner, like I've played Zed, and the bot lane goes GA into Ninja Tabby, first two items, I don't do damage to them. If I'm split pushing against them, they just kill me. 1v1. I just tank all my damage to S key and kill me. I'm just like, wait, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. AD is definitely in an interesting spot. I mean, I wanted ADs to be buffed. Like, I'm loving this patch so far. Like, I'll just say that I'm really happy with it. I hope nothing changes about it. But, yeah, I don't know why they like they even decreased the cost of Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver, and they made Runons even better in team fights now. Like, they did so much to the AD role in like such a short amount of time that I don't know. It just feels like super fucking weird. Like playing against it, do you feel good, Scar?
I don't play the assassin role anymore. I think AD carries are assassin. Lucian assassinates people more faster than I can. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think about that. I just think that that's wrong. But yeah, all the ADs I play against, the funniest thing was, right, it's like, oh, you know, we're going to reduce Zeal IE costs so that other crit-oriented champions like Jinx can shine, you know? And then it just turns out that like Caitlyn's just even stronger than she used to be. And you're just seeing Caitlyn hits her spike even faster, so there's no point to pick Jinx in the first place. You just pick Caitlyn. And I'm just like, oh, this is a nightmare. I think, they just, this tank patch just made ADs and bruisers really, really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think of the new tank items though? Gargoyle Stoneplate, I think that item's fucking crazy. What do you guys think though?
It's not bad, right? It's good for initiators who can just get into like the front lines and tank up. I actually saw the funniest thing, a Cho'Gath one-shotting people was like,
yeah, I had a jungle Cho'Gath on my team who just he flashed into the middle of the fight. He'd bait everyone to go on him. He'd pop that thing and he just 100-0 like a fucking tank because it does I don't know what the scaling on it is, but it scales off of his health. So when he doubles his health, it's just stupid as hell.
I can't believe I witnessed stuff like that. It's like a Cho'Gath 100-0 and 80 carry before the fight even starts. I'm just in shock that it can do 2,500 true damage was a single spell.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty.
Like, I don't know. No one buys those item in my games. I've looked the entire time. No one buys that item.
Wait,
I
really?
think
No
the
one's
items-
getting stone plate?
I've played this patch probably 10 to 15 hours of this patch. I've seen the only one who's bought stone plate is me, and everyone else hasn't bought. I thought the item was much better or much worse than I originally thought. I thought it was when you click it, you increase your maximum health. It just doubles, so it can heal you when you're low. But I used it when I was at 10%, and it doubled my current health. So it doubled my 10% health into 20% health, and then I died instantly. So it's not as strong as I originally thought. I don't know how good it is though, because I just haven't seen him much.
Yeah, I see Sejuani's building that shit like every single game that I'm against. They just become like some unkill. I mean, what do you think of Sejuani? No, I'm talking about. You think Sejuani a little overtuned or anything?
Talk to Inori about her.
Yeah.
She's balanced, man. She's perfectly balanced. Well, they did hotfix her, so I think she's more in line now because her early clear is not as strong. But she's definitely the one jungler that really shines a lot from the tanks. I think her kid's just really good. That E stun is. Have you tried jungle Sejuani at all? Either one of you?
I've played against it. That shit is obnoxious as hell. Like, I actually don't know what she's doing, but like her ulti having the stun and then the AoE slow for like 3 seconds. It's like a. Do you know what the percentage is? It's like a 70% slow that lingers. It's just. That champion's she's so disruptive and such a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah, that Vortex is really strong, but I think her E is like a Braum passive now, which you can activate if you're in range to stun anyone who has 4 stacks. I think that's a really good spell, because it doesn't really require you to do anything besides being near someone.
Other people
stun them.
proc it though,
Yeah,
like Braum?
You can't you proc it yourself by selecting the target who has 4 stacks and pressing E on them, but the people can build up the stacks with their melee attacks.
Oh wow, really? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
people could like help build the stat. Oh, damn, that's good as hell. What the
Sedge doesn't have to even start it. It's not like Braum, where Braum has to start it and then people build it up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in range, they can automatically start it if they're melee.
Oh wow, holy shit, that's so good. Yeah, damn, I didn't know that. I thought she had to get like an auto off and have to do it all herself. Because that's like, I'll be honest, most of the time I see Sejuani, she's off like solo killing people, so I don't really see her helping anyone. That's what I see from the champion, but that's pretty fucking ridiculous though. Do you know how long the stun is?
2 seconds.
It goes up as rank up to 1.6, I think. Or is it 2? I'm
There's
not sure.
no way it's fucking 2.
2.
If it's 2, that's way too much.
Dun 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 dun.
Look up
Oh, it
her
goes
ulti.
up to 2, yeah.
Wow.
It goes up to 2.
What's her
I'm telling
ulti?
you,
It goes up to 2, yeah. It's 1 to 2, so I guess you max the second, and it's really good.
Damn. Wow, yeah, I think that she's definitely the best one of the new take. What do you think? Have you tried Zach out?
I played him a little bit. He's so funny. That ulti, holy.
Yeah, his ulti, dude, I've seen some like nasty wombos with it, and then I've seen like he jumps on me and then I just flash out of it and then he just dies. So I'm not really sure what to make of that champion. Do you think he's good?
I think his kid is like really good. Like you look at his kid, 3 spawns with CC, like good damage, like displacement, that's amazing, but I think his numbers are really bad right now. I think as time goes on, the patch will slowly buff him, and he'll come into light once his numbers are better and he can play early game like stronger. So right now I think he's kind of weak, but I think in a few patches he'll be like OP as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I completely agree with you. I played him twice in the jungle, and it just feels like he doesn't do damage. I remember the old Zach. I jump on an AD carry, I 100-0 him with 2 items if he doesn't have an EMR. And now like I do that, you can at most get like 40% of their health, and then they just kill you. If you don't like keep disrupting them, they just beat you down. And so I don't know. Zach feels weak to me strictly because he doesn't do enough damage.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree too.
Do you like his new ulti better than his old ulti? Like I feel
think
like
it's okay.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like if they kept his old ulti and changed his Q to what it is now, he'd be good as fuck. Because his new ult's kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because from an 80s perspective, like if I don't have my flash, it's kind of annoying. But I mean, most champions I play have dashes, so it's cool when he does it, but most of the time he can't even hit me with it. And does the radius increase with level or no?
No.
That shit is small as hell, so he's got to be like directly on top of you. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. You guys think he just needs a numbers buff though?
Yeah, I don't know. His Q is clunky. It's like I play it and I'm like trying to whip people together and it's like wait. It's like if I misclick, like I auto a minion or I auto the same minion, it just disappears. The latch. And so it feels weird to use, probably because I haven't played it much. Just in general, I think that the champion itself is probably fine.
I think his Q is fucking amazing. I love his Q. I wish it had a better slow attached to it when you hit a target, because I know it slows, but it's like
it's really low.
Yeah, it's like almost negligible, that slow. I think if it had a better slow, he'd definitely be a lot better, but I love his new Q. But let me ask you guys then about the Maokai. Maokai, I'm convinced this champion is ridiculous. I'm like convinced he's nutty. But what do you guys think? Inori,
really?
Wait, Inori's giving me the thumbs up. What do you think?
Dude, I played Maokai jungle. I had 3 saplings in the brush, and I like almost insta-killed a jungle camp. I was like, what is this damage? And his gank step is amazing. He still has that W root. Like, Maokai flash W is scary for everyone. And his damage actually scales really well. His ulti is like, just, it's something, you know, but the rest of his kit is good.
Yeah, I love his saplings. His saplings, yeah.
Saplings are so fun.
I don't know what they do at max damage, but I think at level 1 it's like 6% max health plus a base damage, plus it'll get doubled if it's in a brush. It's just, if you get hit with that shit early game, like I've seen Maokai supports, if someone face checks the brush bot lane, you're dead instantly. It's just, that shit's ridiculous. I really like that about him, but his ulti, I feel like if you played it top, I don't know how good he is top lane, but if he was good top lane and you get a flank TP off and the ulti comes in, like you just wipe the team fight, because that thing's like a 2.5 second route into Maokai. Basically, he can just select the target he wants to go on and that guy's guaranteed dead. I feel like if you could get him out of top lane and get like a nasty flank TP off, his ulti's ridiculous. But I've never seen that. It's just always they ulti at the start and then people just walk away from it. And then they just kill him. So, I'm not sure.
I like his ulti. I think it's supposed to be that slow. Like, it's just a zoning tool to disrupt the fight. You catch it, everyone's like, oh, I gotta run out of this. But like, in better coordination scenarios, if they're running away, they can't do damage to you, right? I think that usually right now you're seeing Maokai usually at like the very beginning way too early, or like at the very end, right when they die. And then they get like nothing out of it. Like if they're losing the T fight, they're trying to run away, and he ultis to disengage. That snare lasts like 0.6 seconds. But I think overall the ability's not bad. Just hard to use.
Yeah, I think you have to be creative with like the ulti. You have to try to get from angles where you can cut them off, or just use it as like a zoning spell where people are forced to either run into it or wait. I think situations like that are the best, but I just like the rest of his kit where his E does a shit ton of damage now, and I don't know, Maokai jungle for me, it's like you can just use your saplings to check all the brushes, so it's not really that scary for you to walk through jungle. And his early clear isn't that bad, but yeah, I think all the junglers or the tank junglers have had low numbers, except for Sejuani, so I think if they buffed the Maokai and Zac a little bit early game, they shine a lot more.
Alright then, fair enough. Let's go on to the next topic now. So next topic, wow, this is a good topic, Scar. Tyler1 got banned just about a year ago permanently after a streak of 22 banned accounts. Should he be allowed to play again? I mean, he already plays again.
People want to know, dude.
I'm pretty sure he already plays again. If you're asking should he be unbanned, I mean, it's up to Rad. I don't give a fuck if he gets unbanned or not. It makes zero difference to me. I mean, from my perspective, I think that, like, being toxic, I'm okay with being toxic, you know? I'm okay if someone's toxic. Like, there's a certain level, obviously, that you can't go above and beyond, like, I know Tyler1 was telling people to kill himself, like, that might be a little too much, you know? But
can't go full Tarzan.
yeah. You gotta tone it down a little bit at the very least. So I can understand if they don't want to unban him, but like if he's toxic in the sense that you guys suck, I'm AFK. That's better for me. Like I'm okay with that kind of toxic. You feel me? So if he's like that now, I'm okay with him being unbanned. If he's still kill yourself, you fucking scum of the earth support, I'm gonna run it down mid. It's like, yeah, that might be a little too much on that one. Scar, you picked this topic though. You chose this topic, so what are your thoughts?
I think it's really interesting because I honestly, he was terrible before because I was in one of his games before and he was like the fact that like intentionally feeding is never okay in my opinion. I don't care if you go like 0-20, like but you're 0-20 with like and you just aren't playing well, right? But like actually running it down mid is terrible. But if he didn't do that, I'm like okay to give him like one last chance. I don't. But then again, he's had 21 chances. So maybe one last chance may not be like maybe he had some last chances like already.
Yeah, I could see an argument that maybe 22nd time's the charm, you know. I could definitely see that one. Inori, what do you think?
Dude, man, I can't stand players like that who just throw the game. Like I play games with him, so I know people watch him. They're like, "Oh, he's just like having fun." No, fuck that shit. Like, I don't want you running down mid in my game. That's not fun.
No, definitely, yeah. And when I watched this stream, like I've watched this stream I hosted it. It's like hilarious. But like when I've played against them and he just starts like even playing against them, like I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Like it just feels like a waste of time. Like winning's like great in solo queue, but like when someone's just inting, even on the enemy team, it's just like, well, shit. I guess this is a fucking waste of time now. Like
you want to earn your wins too. It's like you don't want a free win because someone's like trolling. You just want to like know that you played well and you earned that win, kind of thing.
Yeah, because just on both sides, it's just like a waste of time for like everyone in the game because for like higher level players, like winning's important, but it's not like the most important fucking thing. So like you want to have like an actual game, and to just have someone just I'm gonna int and feed. It's like okay, well, I guess
it like ruins it for everyone. And
yeah.
I think like the problem is like he was getting like a really high viewership too. So when he's doing that stuff on stream and then he's not getting banned, right? I feel like a lot of kids watch it and they think it's like okay to do stuff like that. But I feel like he sets the wrong like. He's becoming like a bad role model for people watching who think it's okay to like int and like feed mid. So I just don't like stuff like that because I don't want more people doing that because that like ruins the game for everyone. So I think Riot banning him was the right decision. I think unless he's like begging for forgiveness and he's gonna change, he shouldn't really get a second try.
Okay, it's a 23rd try to be fair.
Shit.
Okay.
23.
I think we can all agree if he's truly reformed, then if he'll write like a 20-page apology letter to Riot on everything that he's learned, we can agree he should be unbanned. But I don't know. Let's go to the next topic then. They say sometimes people are toxic because they really care about winning the game. God, Scar, you chose a great one. How much of this statement's true? I feel like this statement's actually true, though. I can understand why people get frustrated a lot of the time because a lot of people really want to fucking win. And it's very frustrating when, like, let's say your top laner is like 0-10 and you're just like, you're 5-0. Sometimes it doesn't matter that you're 5-0. You're just going to fucking lose the game anyways because your top laner has no idea what he's doing. He's just feeding the entire time. And there's like, it's just like, okay, we lost this game. I can understand people going off on the top laner. I don't think that it's right, but I can like give it a pass because a lot of people are super competitive. Obviously, there's better ways to deal with your problem than, hey, you fucking idiot, stop feeding so I can carry your garbage ass, all that shit, dude. But like, if someone does that, like I don't look at that as like toxic. I just look at that like human nature. That's just how people fucking are. Like even me sometimes, if I have a game where I'm just like trying my fucking hardest to carry and there's just some monkey ass on my team that's just doing everything in his power to stop me from carrying, it's just like, you stupid motherfucker, just sit back and let me fucking carry you. It just tilts me to no end. Scott?
I've actually had to like calm down a little bit because I definitely think this is a topic I brought up because there was a period of time where I really wanted to like super try hard in every game of League of Legends, and like especially because I stream like so much now, I can't do that and still like stream the amount of hours I do because it's so easy for me to get frustrated over plays. Like to the point where like I remember there's like a day where I just went I typed out everything I wanted people to do. That I went here, like where the jungler was. It's so like really really specifically, and I was like I gotta make sure that we win this game. And if it's just like, it's too much. Like, if you invest that much of yourself into each and every game, like, it feels so bad to lose. And I remember I was super frustrated and like, even like, I was just super toxic too, as well. And so, I actually can't do that anymore when I'm streaming. I have to take like a more laid back approach because definitely if you put yourself like in every single game, like, as much as you can, you will get it. Like you said, it's in human nature to get really frustrated, especially if your teammates aren't playing well.
Inori?
Yeah, I think we're all human. We're not robots. We have like emotions. Like when we play the game, we're all passionate about it. We've been playing it for like so many years. So it's like hard not to care about the result. But yeah, I think it comes to a point where it's like 50% true where I feel like some people just have worse anger management and all it takes is like one thing for them to like explode. But I think other people handle it really well where they can like control their anger. Even if they're getting frustrated, they don't let it like build up super quick where they just like, if this guy dies one more time, I'm letting him have it kind of thing. Where it's just like, maybe he's having a bad game. I'll let him slide kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's like 50% true and it's all about like how you handle it and don't let your frustration build up too much and just relax.
Yeah, because I had a game today, like, I find it's the worst for me when I play on my main because I'm trying to get rank 1. I had a game today where we went for, like, my Blitzcrank was, like, ping spamming for an invade. I was like, this is dumb as hell. Everyone stacks on invades. He goes in, gives, like, a double kill to Draven, and I'm Kog'Maw. And so Draven has, like, a 4-minute BF sword. He kills both of us again. I wanted to fucking go off so fucking hard that game, but I just kept it in myself. Like, God, man. People, like, I'm passionate about this game, but sometimes, like, I try my best to keep it to myself. Like, this guy's just having a bad game, dude. It's alright, dude. It's okay. This is gonna be fine. We're gonna win this game. And we actually ended up winning that game, luckily enough, but if we didn't win that game and I'd just gotten absolutely demolished the entire game, I don't know if I have it in me to like control myself. Because that's the thing is when I feel really frustrated, if we win the game at the end, I'll end up apologizing. I'll be like, dude, you know what? Don't sweat it, man. It happens to the best of us. But if we end up losing that game, you better hope I fucking exit that lobby instantly. Because if we fucking lose that shit, I'm gonna fucking flame the hell out of you. And I don't know, just playing on my main just does that to me, so I feel like I can understand why some players flame, and that's why I don't think that having a bad attitude or being toxic should, like, stop players from, like, when they stopped, like, Tarzan and, like, I think they stopped Consensual Clown. I think Consensual Clown 2 is a great player. Both of them are probably a little more than toxic, because they say some things that are questionable, but I think that players like that probably shouldn't be stopped from like entering scouting grounds. They just need like anger management or some shit. But maybe that's just me. I don't fucking know.
Dude, Consensual Clown, I have like a bad opinion about him because like back in the day, he would just troll NA Solo. He had like a list where he like had people he would intentionally troll. Do you remember that list at all, any of you guys?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No,
I think I know what you're talking about.
No, he has a terrible fucking
on that
attitude.
List. I was second, so he would always just troll me every game. He'd just lock in Kazakh's jungle, be like, hee, I'm Inori, and then he'd just end the game. I was just he traumatized me really bad
Now,
back in the day.
I know a lot of people have told me he has a terrible attitude, and I've seen some of the shits that he says. Yeah, he has a fucking awful attitude. But from my perspective, he's actually the best support I've ever played with in solo queue. Like he knows how to play the fucking game. And even when he plays AD, it's like, this guy's better than any AD that I play, any AD main that I play against in solo queue. Like, he's actually so fucking good. And I say this shit all the time. It's just, I don't know how old he is. I'm gonna assume he's fucking young and he's just some stupid monkey kid.
I think like 17.
Yeah, if he could get his, emotions under control, I think he would be a fucking amazing player. But he's just too much of a monkey right now, so... Yeah, if someone got them anger management though, like Riot Games, before they, if Riot did scouting grounds, but before you could get into scouting grounds, you had to take anger management or some shit, that would be fucking, it'd be a done deal, dude.
So fun.
Dude,
that would actually be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
Actually, give them some anger management, let them handle it so they don't punch anyone in their face, you know?
Yeah, I'm telling you, if they did that, you would increase North America's talent pool by so much. Because I feel like everyone that's good in NA is just a fucking flamer.
So you want for instance, do you want them to run the anger management class? They bring in Inori and a consensual clown that's trust falls with him.
Yeah, some shit like
fall
that.
down.
Dude, I would let him drop, man. I would not catch that guy. I swear, I will not catch that guy. 100%. If he's in front of me, I'm moving aside. I'm not catching him.
Alright, fair enough. I'll give you that.
I would catch
one.
anyone else, but I can't catch him.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
I think we can all agree though that toxic people, they're probably just toxic because they're passionate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
somewhat,
it's
yeah.
I don't think they're actually bad people. I've met a lot of these solo queue guys in person, and I know they're good people. It's just a lot of it just comes to anger.
Yeah. All right then. Let's go to the next topic. And Nori, you spent a lot of time this season talking about learning a lot from media. What specific things did he do that you were able to pick up?
I think he showed me how to play Elise as well. That's the best thing. But yeah, his team play is so good. Honestly, having someone else play on your team that's really experienced, you get to see a lot of the holes he fills that you make kind of thing, the flaws in your gameplay that he kind of has down already. So I think one of my biggest flaw was how my team play was really poor. I played more solo queue style because it was just Rengar, Kha'Zix at the time and Graves. So I didn't really have that molded team play style. But once he came in, I saw how he plays around his team, and he's a really smart player. He doesn't play off brute force. He just plays really smart and slow, and tries to outsmart the other jungler or play around better positioning. So watching him play, my comms improved a lot. My team play improved a lot. Just everything about my play before just improved. And I think it's just because of how experienced he is and how smart he is as a jungler. So yeah, I learned a lot from him.
So would you say that he's a better, I guess, team player than you, and you're better mechanically, or?
I mean, honestly, I don't want to say anything like that, but I just think he's really good and smart, and I'm also good and smart.
Wait,
that's pretty good. I like that one.
wait, how did he teach you Elise then? As you said, he taught you how to play
watched
Elise. You popped out the last 2 games.
Yeah, I wasn't even playing Elise before. I dropped it a while ago, and I was just fuck. But I watched Meteos play so much, so I learned a few things by watching him and his routing and stuff. So I felt kind of confident going in, even though I haven't practiced it at all. It was just watching Meteos play it. I kind of just adapted to his style of it. So yeah, props to him.
So did you talk to him about this kind of stuff, or did you just watch how he played and try to figure it out yourself?
I just kind of watch how he plays and listen to his comms. I message him sometimes when I have direct questions I want to ask him, and he sometimes talks to me, but because he's not in-house, it's hard to have a full conversation with him. But when we go to studio, we always talk a lot about the game, and after a game loss, we talk about the enemy jungle pathing, and it's honestly really helpful having another counterpart that's at the level you're at, so you can just discuss the game and come up with strategies against the enemy jungler, for example. If you see his routing first game, you both can kind of talk about how he's playing the game, and it's really good to have someone you can bounce ideas off. where it's like I can say, hey, what do you think if I did this in this point of the game? Like, what do you think about that? He would say like, yeah, it's good. You should probably try this too, and it's really helpful for me.
So we had Double Lift on, I think, last episode, and we were talking about having like a 10-man roster type of thing, so you could you have basically an equal for your position. Do you think something like that is where the LCS should be headed?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculously good. Like, if you have an equal in your position, having two people who are just constantly discussing the game, who are next to each other, you just constantly improve because you're bouncing ideas off each other, and I feel like that's such a strong thing to have. Like, you don't realize it when you don't have it, but when you have it, it helps a lot because there's a lot of things you miss that other people see because, like your perspective of the game isn't always going to be right. So being able to hear a different perspective about the game, who's on the same level, who's also playing the same role as you, is super helpful.
So is P1 going to have a 10-man roster?
I think 10-man's pushing it because of how hard it is to find, like, equal players on each role and how, pricey that'll be. But I think a 7-man is really good right now for starters.
All right. I'm available. Let's go to the next topic, though. Hey. Scrim schedule and NA this split are starting around 10 a.m. and ending around 5 p.m., supposedly. This is to let players and staff have more time off in the evening. Is this a smart move? I have no idea. Sky, you did the topic, so.
Well, let me ask Inori first, because you're in this position. So I heard about this night when I went and talked to some players recently to come on BTR, and they told me, like, oh, the scrim schedule started this week for North America. It's starting at 9:30, ending around 5. What do you think about the schedule, Inori?
I think it's pretty good because it lets you have more of a normal life now because when you start earlier, it's more of like a work schedule. So ending 5 p.m., you have a lot more free time to actually go out and just have a regular life because the last schedule was just really late ending, so you didn't really have time to go out or do anything. So at least now you have something like you can have a hobby where you can go out and play tennis or something and it still be available to come back home and stuff and play solo queue. So I think it's really good.
Do you think gamers need like that balanced lifestyle? You think that all the professional players they shouldn't just be grinding solo queue? Because from what I understand, that's what a lot of Asian players do, both Korean and Chinese players.
Yeah, I think it's super important because I think this game is a mental game. I don't think it's like at the top level the players are that different, like skill wise. I feel like it's a lot just how you are mentally and how well you are kept. I think like keeping your mental up and having a good lifestyle change is really strong, and I've been trying to push for it too. Like waking up early is always better, and just like general stuff like eating well, exercise, having all that stuff settled out helps a lot too.
I could definitely agree with that though. Like I always tell, I'll tell my Twitch chat all the time, like this game is basically, it's like a decision making. It's basically just a huge puzzle. Mechanically, almost all the players are the fucking same at the top level. Like everyone does the same shit. I don't see anyone and I'm like, oh my god, he's just so fucking crazy compared to everyone else. It's like, wow, he's so smart the way that he did that. Or wow, that was so smart the way he decided to take this fight or approach this or do that kind of stuff. So I definitely think that, yeah, being able to lead a healthier life and like being able to maybe foster some kind of do you guys go out and do anything as a team or?
Yeah, we try to. We all of us are gonna have like a one day off where it's like Monday's our day off. So we try to do like team activities. Like one time we went to Six Flags, but then all the Koreans hated it because we won an X2 for the first ride, and then everyone just went home. But we kind of do. Someone thought it was a good idea to do X2 for the first ride for people who were really scared of roller coasters. So of course after they went on X2, they were like, "Yeah, that's enough Six Flags for us." But yeah, we try to do team stuff like karaoke, and we go out to eat a lot, quarters, Korean barbecue, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think like team building exercises are super important. I don't want to sound like some like hippie bullshit, like, yeah, let's all huddle around fucking powwow style and like start doing that kind of shit, but I think team building's definitely like a very important thing to do, and I think that kind of schedule definitely helps with that kind of stuff, so that's good to hear, because, yeah, when we used to play it, the schedule was god-awful. That shit was awful. 100%. It was like, what did we start? We started at 2, and we ended at 8?
Yes, 2 to 8, or like I think maybe there are even situations where people start at like 12 to 8.
Yeah, that shit was
Not yet.
that was a fucking joke. I don't know who the fuck came up with that schedule. Fucking idiot, dude. 8 hours of fucking screaming into nothing. That's a good life right there. But anyways, let's go on then to the final topic. The final topic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. With the rise of champions like Ivern, Karma, and Lulu, shields have become a pretty big issue in League. Should there be a skill, item, or effect to negate or weaken shields? I've been saying this shit from the start. They should make it so Executioners reduces healing, and then when you upgrade it to Mortal Reminder, it should reduce shields and heals by 50%. Like, if you did that, Ivern, I don't think Ivern would be such a disgusting champion that he is now. I don't think Karma would be such a disgusting champion, but the fact that there's no way to mitigate these shields, it's just, like, what do you do against them? Like, Karma comes at you with, like, 2,000 health extra on every champion on her team. It's just like, okay, I guess you win this fight. I think that shit's dumb as fuck.
I mean, the way I thought about it was that they should just add another item, like probably a support item, where the active is you break any shield on the target, and that way it doesn't fully negate shields, right? But it allows you for like timing windows to like burst people down.
I think that might be too much, though. That's like,
like you think that that's too much? Like, I don't know. I think that that's like.
I feel like that's difficult though. Like they don't want to act. Like I don't know what Riot's mentality is, and I don't want to like downplay the community because they're fucking good as hell at this game. But I feel like that's too hard to use for a lot of people. So that's not something that'd be. You really think they should have like a purge effect in League?
Yeah, I'm down for them to add it. Like, I think maybe not add it as like if you don't want to add it as an item, add it onto like a champion or something. I'm down. Like the next champion they release. Shield Breaker, some random the Shield Breaker where you purge off shield effects, and then I think that, or like purge off like buff effects. You know, I think that'd be fine. I just think there needs to be some way to deal with it because as the game progresses, and like we're trying to balance healing, but like what's taking control of the shields? Like what's underplaying shields right now?
I think shields are just too cost efficient. Like or support items like. All of them are so cost efficient, and when you put on a champion who's already getting income like Ivern, it becomes a big problem. Like, I think control junglers are really OP because the support items are so cost efficient. They hit their spikes way sooner, and they don't even have the drawback of not having income as a support. So that's the biggest issue, and all you can really do is like up the support item costs, and I think it's good because of how cheap they already are. And I think I'd rather see like melee supports than actual control supports too.
Yeah, I mean. I think that you think that just upping the cost of like Locket and Redemption will be good enough to make Ivern like whatever.
No, I think he'll still be broken because of how his like passive is, but I think I saw some changes on PvE that look really strong against him. So I think after they nerf his passive, how much health he can do, and or how much he can first. I don't think you should be able to first clear as Ivern. That seems really OP, and he already has so many like. Possible starting spots that it's pretty strong that he can do a full clear without even backing. So I think they need to nerf his passive, which I think they already are. And yeah, support items are just really strong right now. And I remember you were talking about the purge item thing. I think the problem with that is like there's so many item actives in the game right now that if they keep resulting to adding more actives, it becomes too cluttered with like all these actives. And especially for newer players, it's like, I have 6 items I have to click.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't.
That's what they did with the, you remember when they used to have gold per 10 and each one of the gold per 10 led into an active? So you just have these monstrosity of builds where it'd just be like, you'd have Death, Fire, Touch, Shirelia's Reverie, fucking, I don't remember, like Yomu's just the stupidest build. Yeah.
I mean like, I understand, okay, you're just saying that like people won't click the items because they're bad. And I understand I too misclick, I won't click a lot of items, but I'm afraid of giving too much power to like stuff that automatically happens. Like I think Mortal Reminder and Execution, I think Executioner's Calling right now is already too good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Don't make it so you have to actually upgrade to Mortal Reminder to get the shield. Like I'm fine with the Executioners just doing the shield or just doing the heals. But you have to upgrade a more reminder to get like shield, break, pass, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I guess I'm just down for them to add more items, like more situational items. I'm playing against a team with a lot of shields. I don't know if I want Mortal Reminder because you would build that anyways. Like maybe it's like a mid game item that's like for ADs or for mages or something that would just be like, okay, casts, like yeah, shields are less effective against the target for X seconds.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just want them to do something about shields because playing against Lulu Karma as an AD sometimes can be not fun, especially when they have like just if they for some reason have like Ivern jungle, Karma mid, Lulu bottom. That shit just makes me want to puke. Like it's just too much for me. So anything that is done with the shield, I'm happy with as long as it's a nerf.
I agree. I think shields should be nerfed too, because like I feel like defense seems way stronger than offense in this game. Where it's like whenever you're building defense, you just counter the offense build. So it's like defensive junglers are better than offensive junglers because they're just better like shields and sustain. So I don't really like that. I'd rather offense beats defense to an extent where you have to like outplay it. But like when there's shields, there's no outplay. It's like they just shield your damage and you just die. So it never feels good.
I agree that offense should beat defense, but that's because I'm an AD player. Like right now, I feel like offense beats defense. Like when Poppy and shit were meta, like when it was just tanks top every game, and it was like I have my Essence Reaver, you have Ninja Tabbies. Okay, you just beat the shit out of me in a 1v1. That's cool, dude. Like that shit. I don't know. That shit was a little too much. I definitely agree that offense should be defense. I don't know how they could balance it in a sense that it wouldn't just make tanks absolutely useless because, yeah, I don't know what they could do about that, but I can agree with you there. But that's maybe because I'm just a brainless AD player, so who knows, man. Alright, let's go then. We're going to get the best part underway now. Inori, let me ask you something. You ever done a live question and answer before?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Let me give you a quick little rundown. So we got a thing called Twitch chat here. What they do is they download Discord and they go to the link down below. They click on the text channel, ask questions here, and they're going to ask us questions. And then we're just going to give them answers. So let's start it off with my man, 3 at TG, wants to know, at Inori, mainly, what's your opinion on the jungle meta in the new patch? And who are the top tier junglers?
Jungle meta, I think Nunu, Ivern are still like the strongest too, how I feel. I hate Nunu, goddamn. It makes me sad that he gets into meta all the time, but I mean, the 2 control made junglers are the strongest. That's why it's really frustrating because you can't kill them. Like, they just run away if you try to fight them.
What do you think of Gragas? Do you think he's any good?
He's pretty good, yeah. I think items kind of helped him too. And I don't think he was in a bad spot before. I still think he's kind of weak early, but he still does a really good mid-game fight, and I think he's actually pretty strong as well.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Nunu. That champion's a fucking pain in the ass. I don't know, like, what it is about him, but, I mean, I know what it is about him. It's just he throws a snowball at me, and then I become, like, his snowball literally completely negates me as a champion, so.
He just runs at you. Oh, and his ulti. Dude, level 6 to 11 ulti? What is that?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe that exists. What
Yeah.
the hell?
When you're able to have your passive proc on the ulti and you have no flash, he flashes on you, ultis, and you're dead. You're just not living. It's
it's pretty nuts.
So much damage.
I've seen him the damage is ridiculous. How does that happen? I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. It should be not allowed on your ulti or something, right?
Nah, I mean, I'm kind of okay with it, but I don't play jungle that much. I also don't see really that much Nunu, but when I do see him, it's just, that champion's fucking crazy. I hate that shit. And he's always, over level. I don't know how Nunu's always managed to stay so farmed, because I figure you have to, AoE clear, and even with the Tiamat, it's, not that great, and some of them don't even build it, but it's just, they're, always 3 levels above my jungle. It's what the fuck is this guy doing? How is he doing this? Yeah, that champion's a pain. Jomar wants to know, how important is Rift Herald in this patch? I think Rift Herald, I think what Riot set out to do with Rift Herald to make it like important, they definitely accomplished that shit. Because when Rift Herald's taken, you gotta group on that shit. Like as soon as you hear Rift Herald spawning, you go and fucking group on that thing. Because if you don't, it's gonna just take all your tower. Especially if the person that's being laned against is behind. With Rift Herald, they're gonna just lose all their towers, and they're probably gonna get tower dove and killed. So it's pretty stupid.
The first charge that Rift Herald does, because it's off percentage current health. When it hits the tower, because it hits him and the tower for the same damage, it hits for 1,500 damage.
Yeah, I had a game where it just slammed. Like it was like I don't even know, like 18 minutes into the game, and we went down middle. It slammed the first tower for like 1,500, and then it slammed the inhib tower for 1,300. We just took the fucking inhib like it was nothing. It was just the stupidest shit I've seen, dude. Inori, what is your take on the Rift Herald?
It's so broken. When I see it, it's just not even hard to take. And I see some champions solo it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think that they reduced
you can't solo
damage.
that. Shouldn't be allowed.
No, I think they reduced the damage, right, or some shit.
Yeah, they did. You can. It's no longer a thing where like if you're doing it, you're gonna take a lot of damage. It's gonna take a lot of time. Now it's like you can just solo it and still break the eye yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people. Yeah, they can break the eye themselves. They can just walk up behind the Rift Herald solo and just hit it for the bonus 1,000 true damage. It's just. Like, that thing's a joke to take now. It takes no effort. And it's so impactful that, I don't know, I'm hesitant to say that they should nerf it because it's definitely a big deal. And it's, something that's important to, Ward. And that's what they set out to accomplish. So, they definitely did what they wanted to do. But I don't know if it should be nerfed. Because I feel like if it's nerfed, then it's just going to be useless.
Yeah, it might not even be that bad to have in the game. It's a one-time effect, and before Baron. I think it's actually okay. Maybe they just should make taking it harder. Because before, it was too hard to take, right? You needed two people, it took you 20 seconds minimum, and both of you were chunked by the end of it. But now it's you need one person, and you're going to lose 30% health when you take it sometime. I don't know. I think there just should be a middle ground, and I'm okay with how strong it is. It just looks really funny when you lose your tower instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's if it was it would be better if it was kind of like an after win where it's you win a team fight, 3 of you guys are alive, you can take Herald. I don't like how it's something you just rush where it's we got 2 people here, let's get Herald. Let's do it, guys. Come on. But I'd rather it just be something you win after a fight than something you take as a cheesy gimmick where they don't know you're doing it or something, and you just get it because it's so easy to kill. I think it should take longer to kill, and you shouldn't be able to solo it. Those are my 2 cons about it. I think it's really strong. I think it's good, and it has counterplay, which is nice. But I just think it's too easy to kill right now, and it's just you shouldn't be able to solo it.
Alright, fair enough then. My man, we'll go with John Murphy. This is a great question. Every time we have a jungler. At Inori, why is jungle ranked as the lowest carry next to support stated by Acadian and Tarzan?
Oh my god.
What do you think of jungle? You think it's the worst role in the game right now?
I actually don't even think it's that bad. I think it definitely sucks because you have to play Ivern and Nunu now to play the strongest stuff, but I feel like you have to adapt. The jungle role is all about just adapting to what's strong. So if you can't adapt to it, then it's just not suited for you, right? But it's not that weak. It's pretty strong. It's just you have to adapt to the new phase of the jungle where it's control junglers are better. So just adapt to that and you'll be fine.
Alright, fair enough. My man, let me see. Magical Gurney, this one's at Scar. He wants to know, how many bitches do you bang every week? It's a great question, so I gotta read it.
What kind of question is it? You make fun of me for my topics too. What kind of question is it?
Dude, he wants to know, so I gotta ask you.
I don't have enough fingers on my hand to count. I'm sorry.
Alright, fair
Next
enough.
question.
Fair enough. My man, Parent wants to know, at Inori, what skill is the most important skill to train/improve on for a solo queue jungler?
A skill? Honestly, just limiting your deaths is an all-around good thing to do. something I try to do when I was like climbing was just limit my amount of deaths. Like if I got like 2 deaths one game, I'd be like, all right, how did I die twice? And I go over it and I'm like, yeah, that was pretty stupid. I shouldn't do that anymore. And I slowly just got better by learning what went wrong after every death and try to drop my deaths to a minimal, while also being proactive. Like you honestly, you could just AFK and not die, but that's just like not how you should be doing it. If you just be proactive and you realize why you're dying, that's like a big thing to change. And if you die less, you'll win more games.
All right. Well, on that topic, Scar, what do you think is an important skill for mid laners?
Tracking the jungler. That like people have gotten so good at the game that like it's no longer like a 1v1, especially not mid lane. Like the game has changed. It used to be like, oh, you can solo carry the game. It's not like that anymore. If you're playing mid lane, a lot of times when you're playing competitive, you think of the mid lane matchup as a mid jungle matchup. And that's how you should be thinking about it on all levels. So if you know where the jungler is, you know when you can do stuff or when you can't do stuff. Tracking the jungler is like one of the most important things, because not only would that minimize your deaths, like Inori said is really important, watch your deaths, it'll also make it so that it'll let you understand how the pace of the game is going forward.
And I'll say for bot lane, I feel like the most important skill that you can work on is definitely being able to CS. Like CSing is basically everything bot lane, because everything that you do revolves around it. If you want to go for a trade, if they're going in for farm and you understand like CSing, like yeah, he's going to go in for farm, that means that you can go in for a free trade. If you know that the jungler is ganking you, as long as you're farming well, it's like, okay, well, I'm willing to give up this cannon creep because my farm's so good, I don't need to go for a desperation overextend to get the cannon creep. Because God knows how many times I've died when it's like, I know the jungler's here, but I need this CS right. Shit, I'm dead. So I definitely think that learning how to farm effectively is the best thing for an AD. Let me see now. Semirol wants to know, with Rift Herald so powerful now, like you guys said, what is the priority / trading with Dragon? Would you take an Infernal over a Rift Herald?
Ooh.
I'd say that's pretty close. I'm not sure. Like the thing with Rift Herald, like Dragon's just, like it's just there. With Rift Herald, you actually have to do something with the buff. Like with the Dragon buff, you just get stronger by getting it, so you don't have to like, it's not like, all right, we need to make a coordinated play. It's like, okay, guys, keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing now, and you're stronger by a little bit. So,
yeah, I think Dragon's like an investment where you get it and it kind of like just scales really well over time. While Herald is just this one-time buy thing. It's like, boom, use my money, get this out, and try to make as much out of it as you can at that one moment.
Yeah, so I'd say it really depends. Like, I'd say maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe in a coordinated setting, Herald's more important than Dragon, but at the same time, like, in a coordinated setting, it'd be easier to, like, fend off the Herald, so I'm not 100% sure which one has more priority over the other. Scar,
I think in certain situations where, let's say you're running a comp where you want to siege at an early time. Like, let's say there's a lot of, like, old school poke comps that would siege on second blue buff or third blue buff. So you just work your Rift Herald timing in with one of those and you siege, and it forces them to come, right? Just like Kitty said before, you can force a situation where you will take an early sieging opportunity or early 5v5, and Infernal won't let you do that. So, but if it doesn't, Infernal is like the payoff, right? Like, it's always good. I think that for sure I would take a Rift Herald over probably Ocean Wind, and Mountain and Inferno are like kind of close. Like you'd make the decision, but I would probably almost always want Rift Herald because I just like doing stuff, and I think Rift Herald forces you again to do stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely like a very proactive. Like Dragon, I feel like it's more of a passive option. Rift Herald's like, okay, we're gonna force a fight up top now. We're spawning the fucking Rift Herald. Like, you either come and defend this shit or you're gonna lose 2 towers. So, I definitely like Rift Herald in that sense, and I think we just have to wait and see when the pros play it, how it actually pans out and stuff. Let me see. X Cotter wants to know, do you think the game being balanced based on trying to balance for both casuals and professional players breaking the game? They made several champions clunky or terrible because of them being too good and competitive or solo queue while being bad and vice versa. If so, do you think the game should be balanced for competitives or casuals? I'd say it's mostly balanced around, like, competitive, though. Like, they do very few things for casuals. Like, sometimes they'll just randomly nerf Garen or, like, randomly nerf Udyr. I remember the first time, like, they buffed him this patch, but I remember, like, way back they nerfed him, and Dom was like, why the fuck would you nerf Udyr? Like, no one plays this champion anymore. This was, like, when people were going, I think, the AP... whatever it was
Runic
called.
Echoes?
Yeah, on him, and they just nerfed him. I think that being balanced around competitive is probably the best way to go about it, but I don't know, like, obviously casuals are what makes this game, like, able to survive, so, yeah. I have no idea which one's best. I mean, from my perspective, it should be balanced around competitive, but from Riot's perspective, they probably don't give a fuck what I have to say, so. Scara?
I think it should be balanced around the highest levels to play. But, like, obviously that's biased because I play, like, near that level. I'm not actual professional level, but, like, as close as you can get, like, to that, right? So I think that for the most part, you balance around the higher level tiers because you assume players can get better. Like, that's my general assumption when you see people play the game, is that over time your player base gets better over time. And so you take that into account when you balance, because it doesn't matter what happens at the very beginning. At the very beginning, everyone's going to call everything OP. Oh my, I can't believe Annie one hit me with an OP champ, you know? But, so like balancing around that doesn't seem really smart. So I think that you balance around the idea that people improve over time. And which is why I think you should try to strive to balance around the highest tier play, so that when people do improve, they're able to get to a point where, like, as they improve, like, the balance becomes better as well.
Alright. Inori, you got anything on this?
Yeah, I think you have to balance for the top level because the same thing doesn't ruin, like, lower casual play, right? Like, if an OP champ's OP in casual play, they don't always win. Like, and also difficulty on champions is really important. So, like, these high difficulty, like, top tier champs are really trash, like, bottom tier. So, like, of course they have to balance it to, like, the top level. Especially how Riot's introducing new champions where, like, they want to make the skill cap super high. So eventually some of these champions, their skill cap is so high, but the players get there, and then they just wreak havoc, and it kind of just spreads into, like, lower and lower elo as time goes on when people realize how strong these champions are. So it always starts to the top and ends at the bottom, how I see it. So you have to get it when it's at the very top, where it's like, Riser's broken, we got to fix this, and start bringing it down as it goes on.
Alright, fair enough. My man, Bellisk wants to know, at Inori, who's a better AD? I'm a cutie pie or double lift? And I'm going to throw in Arrow too.
I'm on the guy's show. Of course, I got to give it out to my boy Cutie Pie.
But do you really mean that, though?
Arrow, come here. Arrow, come here. Cutie Pie asked me, he said, who better, you or Cutie Pie? Or double lift. You, Cutie Pie, or double lift? Yeah. Who's the best? Oh. He said him. That's my boy Arrow.
Wait.
My boy Arrow's the best.
Alright, fine. I'll give it to him, man. Whatever, dude.
I still love you, man. Don't worry.
Hey, thank you. At least you voted for me, dude. I'll give you that one.
I voted for you.
Let me see. We'll go with one more question. So I'll make sure that it's a nice juicy one for you guys. We'll go with decisions. We'll go with 0C00I007 wants to know, what do you think about Graves after his last patch nerf?
Oh yeah, the nerfs were like to his E mana or MR stacking. It's gone, right? And his R you can't cancel it anymore, right?
I think that's to be done. The R canceling
to be done. Okay, so just the MR nerf. I think it opens up a lot more matchups where Elise can be a lot stronger than Graves now, just because he can't stack the MR. I think against ADs, he's literally the exact same, so he still has that oppressive vibe to him, but now there's actually some counter matchups you could possibly play. Like, he's probably worse into Gragas, he's probably worse into Elise, he's probably worse team fighting later on too, so I think it opens up more options. I saw the changes to the R. I really hate that because I feel like you should just keep it how it is. It's really cool. Maybe it's gimmicky, but I don't know. I like doing it, so.
But you don't think that those changes to the R they're uncalled for? Because what was the logic they were using? I'm sure it was some shit about like it's not fair to people, and
I think it was just like it wasn't intended because the intended mechanic was that like you're supposed to go backwards, but instead you like go forwards.
Oh, really? Wow, that's kind of dumb then. What the hell? I thought they had like
I think
a
it's pretty okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, do you think Graves was like the end-all be-all jungler? Because I know when I play a lot of the time, people are like, Graves is fucking ridiculous, dude. Ban that shit. You gotta ban it. Did you think Graves was that ridiculous before the nerf?
Yeah, I think if it was in a general 1v1 sense, the enemy jungler could never do anything against the Graves. Like, his clear is like super fast. He takes no damage. He has super far range. Like, having that advantage of being a range and also being like having a dash and stuff, you can chase down anyone in the jungle. Like, if you catch them in the river and you hit them with like Q-Bang, they're dead pretty much with Storm Raiders. I think he's really oppressive. That's the biggest issue. Like, he can just full clear his jungle, stay healthy, have 2 pots up, go in the river, fight you, take a good trade for him because he has 2 HP pots. He can just heal it up and still stay on the map. Stuff like that was really hard to deal with as another jungler who still takes damage in the jungle and has to use his pots to heal himself. So I think Graves is ridiculously OP, and I think these changes aren't the best. Personally, I'd rather it just be the E change and maybe some damage nerfs, but it's up to them if they think it's not good to have the R mechanic in the game.
All right, do you think Graves will stop? Or do you think he'll have a lot harder time seeing play now with the meta changing also?
I'm not sure. I still think he's like the same champ. I feel like that passive that lets him push back jungle camps is what keeps him as a jungler, but also is what makes him so strong. So it's like you gotta give it to him or take it away. If you take it away, he can't jungle. So I guess you just give it to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure because it just feels like tank junglers are becoming like more and more what's played. So I'm not seeing where like I'll play against Graves every now and then, but like at this point, like as an ADC, we talked about it earlier. Yeah, I'll just kill his ass. Like he'll come at me. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna fuck it. I'm Lucian. I'm just gonna like 2-shot, you know. I'm just gonna call you and run you down like an animal. So I don't know how I feel about that champion. I think that the nerfs that they did might have been like too late. Like because I don't know if he was like, were you playing him a ton?
I played him a lot before, but recently, yeah, I haven't been playing him. I still think it's like defense is stronger than offense in the jungle. So if you just play Nuno Ivern, you'll win like twice as many games just based off how the meta is right now. And tank junglers are also, they're not that bad. They're good, and you can still play Kha'Zix a little bit, but it's just a lot harder for like offensive junglers to get ahead now.
All right, Sky, you got anything on this?
Nah, I think Graves is still like a good jungler. Like, yeah, it just sucks that like Graves, if anything, like is one of the few junglers that can play into Ivern, and that should say something because a lot of champions like once Ivern like is even, the game's over. Like, so I think like he's still really strong. I don't know. I think because he has again the pushback on jungle creeps, he's just too healthy in the world where jungle creeps are supposed to beat you up. He beats up the jungle, and that's what's going to make him unique. And he's going to be played a lot because of it.
All right, fair enough, though. Well, that was the last question, so I want to thank everyone for asking amazing questions again. Another fantastic set of questions from the Discord chat. And I want to thank our special guest, the one and only P1 Inori. P1 Inori, if they can't get enough of you, if the people are hooting and hollering for more P1 Inori, where can they get more of you?
You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/P1Inori. You can also catch me streaming sometimes on twitch.tv/P1Inori as well. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, fair enough. Scar, if the people want more of you, where can they get you?
I'm on Twitter and I'm on Twitch under Scara, and I'll be streaming a little bit right after this show. So catch some of you there.
All right, and you guys know where to find me. I'm here every day. But if you want more Beyond the Rift action, check it out on Thursday, every Thursday, except today. It's 5 p.m. EST. Do not miss out on it because it's always a hootenanny on Beyond the Rift. So thank you guys for joining us today, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Beyond the Rift. You guys are supposed to do it with me. All right, bye, everyone.